Hey everybody, welcome back to Building Up. My name is Tyler, and today I'll be making minifigures for the X-Men characters that LEGO forgot. So LEGO just released the giant X-Mansion set, and it's pretty awesome, but there's just one problem: the minifigure selection. To be fair, the figures LEGO included in the set aren't bad. The problem is, whereas the Daily Bugle had 25 minifigs and the Avengers Tower had a whopping 31, this one only has 10. And while I obviously wish we got more new X-Men characters from LEGO, at least it'll be a fun challenge to make them myself. But that means we have a ton of figures to get through today, so let's just get into it. Alright, first up we have Colossus. To build him, I got the legs from Deadshot and added 1x1 plates to the feet to make him a little taller than a normal figure. The torso comes from this Dragon Stunts driver, but I replaced the arms and hands with silver ones, then got the shoulder armor from a Stone Army Warrior from Ninjago. And speaking of Ninjago, I got the head from Zane and topped this one off with some black flat top hair. The next minifig here is Angel, and I started with the legs and torso from another flying superhero, but added red arms and white hands. The wings come from this Eagle Ranger from the new D&D CMF, and I think those are perfect. Then I used this head from the Flash and gave him some tussled, swept-back light tan hair. Moving on to Beast, we did get him in the second Marvel CMF, but I wanted to make him in a lab coat to go along with the mansion. So I think the legs are from the LEGO Store's Build a Minifig station, and the torso comes from Dr. Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppets CMF. The head and hair are both just from the CMF figure, then I gave him a pink test tube as an accessory. Next up is Cable, and I started with the legs from this Beachgoer figure, and again used the LEGO Batman belt. Then I used the torso from Cyclops, but gave him a light nougat right arm and a silver left one. His shoulder armor comes from Okoye from Black Panther, then I got the head from Quaritch from Avatar, and this white hair from Carl Fredricksen. And finally, I gave him this big stud shooter as an accessory. Moving on to Nightcrawler, I got the legs from Sylvester from the Looney Tunes CMF. Then I added a tail from the Avatar figures and got the torso from Nightwing, but added these arms from Shadow the Hedgehog. Going up to the head, I got this one from Blue Beetle and topped it off with some spiky black hair, and for his accessories, I gave him a pair of cutlass swords. Next is Jubilee, and I started with the legs from Pam Beesly. Then I got the torso from Rowan from Star Wars The Freemaker Adventures, but swapped the arms with some dual molded ones to give her some sleeves. The head comes from the female Doc Ock, then I got the tussled black hair from the Shark Army General from Ninjago. Moving over to Emma Frost, I used the legs and torso from Willie Scott from Indiana Jones and added some white arms and hands. Then I got the cape from White Vision from the first Marvel CMF, this head from Elsa from the second Disney CMF, and this hair from Penny from The Big Bang Theory. This next figure is Sunspot, and I started with the legs from this Paddle Surfer from the Series 21 CMF, but erased the printing and gave him some yellow hips. I got the torso from Black Vulcan from the LEGO Batman Movie Series 2 CMF, and the head from the Spinjitzu Burst Cole from Ninjago. Then I topped this one off with this curly spiked hair from Zack from the Friends theme and added a couple of orange Power Burst pieces for accessories. Moving on to Kitty Pryde, I used the same legs from Sunspot. Then I got the torso from the new Jean Grey figure from the Mansion set, but swapped the arms and hands with black and yellow ones. The head comes from Pam Beesly, then I got the hairpiece from this Kickboxer from the Series 16 CMF. And finally, I gave her this purple dragon from the Elves theme to represent her sidekick, Lockheed. Next up is Banshee, and I got these legs from this Party Banana figure and erased the printing. Then the torso comes from the female Electro, and I added this cape from Cedric Diggory in his Quidditch uniform. I got the head from the original Mary figure from Lord of the Rings, then topped it off with some longer orange hair. Moving over to Mystique, the legs come from Lightning Lad. Then the torso comes from Princess Leia, but I added the arms from this Lunar Research astronaut. The head is from Erjitsu Nia, and the hair comes from another Ninjago figure, Wildfire, and I think that part works great here. Next is Morph, and I used the same legs from Cable, but added a yellow hip piece. Then the torso comes from this Camper figure, but I swapped the arms with some reddish brown ones. And finally, I got the head from Metamorpho from the DC Superheroes CMF. Moving on to Forge, I got the legs from the newer Woody minifig from Toy Story, but replaced the right leg with this robotic one from Dr. Rodney Rathbone from the Monster Fighters theme, which is an awesome piece. Then that torso comes from the Trickster, but I traded the arms with these ones from this Scuba Diver figure. I added a medium nougat messenger pouch, then got the head from Kazim from Indiana Jones, and this hair headband combo from Monkey Kid. And for an accessory, I gave him that classic double blaster with a binocular piece attached to make it just a little bit bigger. Next up is Dazzler, and I just used some regular white legs and added a pair of silver skates. Then I got the torso from Claire from Jurassic World and added some light nougat arms with silver cuffs from Wonder Woman. The head comes from Batgirl, then I topped it off with some wavy medium nougat hair, and of course I gave her a microphone as an accessory. And last but not least, here is Havoc. To make him, I used the legs and torso from Sam Flynn from the LEGO Ideas Tron Legacy set, but I flipped the torso around. Then I got the head from this Captain America figure and topped it off with some short tousled hair and light tan. And that is all the X-Men figures I have for today that LEGO didn't include in the new X-Mansion. But be sure to stick around for next week's video where I'll be upgrading the figures that were included in that set. Also, please let me know in the comments if there are any characters I missed that you'd like to see in a potential future video, or if you do anything different with the ones you saw in this video to make them even better. And there you have it, guys, my custom X-Men minifigures. But that'll do it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Actually, if you're still watching, I have a project over on LEGO Ideas celebrating the upcoming 50th anniversary of Rocky, and it could become an official LEGO set if it can gather enough support. So please use the links in the description below to check out the full video and to show your support over on the LEGO Ideas website, and I'd really appreciate it. But wait! If you're also a nerd and you want to see more, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, follow me on my socials, Instagram and TikTok @BuildingUpBricks, and as always, keep building up.